and now the Indiana Fever are 7th place overall and in playoff positioning. Caitlin Clark is real. She's coming, and I still contend she should have been on Team USA, Shannon. You saw the attendance for Team USA compared to everybody else. If she was on that team, that wouldn't have been a problem. I stand by my position from day one. She's real.
Where are the people that Stephen A? Oh, she don't do this. She not gonna do that. Let her cook. It got so bad yesterday, the Seattle Storm, they pulled their starters so she couldn't get that double-digit assist record 3 consecutive games with at least 20 points and 10 or more assists. They pulled their starters, and then Skylar Diggins, I think Smith, her last name, she bumped into her, sped up. Let her cook. But if I'm Caitlin Clark, I'd have told Skylar Diggins, get your coat, your brim, and get on out of my gym. Let her cook. I want to know what y'all saying now, because she is legit. She's better, Stephen A. She's better than I thought she would soon. I thought she would be good. You and I both said she's going to be good because she got 2 skill sets. She can score the basketball and she can assist the basketball. So if one is not going, the other one will. But a lot of people say, oh, this and that. Let her cook. Y'all stop being petty. Stop being catty, because she like a double-edged sword. She cutting tail left and right. And it's bothering y'all, and I see it. Let's go, Caitlin. Hey, do me a favor, CC. Send your favorite a jersey with your autograph on it, and I'll wear it. Do that for me, huh?
I don't know if she got a jersey that could fit you, but she, we will work on that. We'll work on
that. The sports world often presents itself as a realm of meritocracy, where talent, hard work, and dedication are supposed to be the only currencies that matter. Yet, beneath this veneer of fairness, a darker reality often lurks, one where politics, power dynamics, and ego clashes hold sway over the fates of even the most talented athletes. Caitlin Clark, a prodigy in the WNBA, has found herself at the epicenter of a storm that threatens to shake the very foundations of the league. Her meteoric rise is not just a triumph of skill and determination, it is a direct challenge to the entrenched powers that seek to control the narrative, to determine who rises and who falls in the world of professional sports. Clark's journey to stardom was never going to be a simple one. From the moment she set foot on the court, it was clear that she was destined for greatness. But what was less clear, at least at first, was just how much resistance she would face from those who feared her potential. Her talent was undeniable, but in the world of sports, talent alone is not enough. Clark's rise has been met with roadblocks, both visible and invisible, that have been strategically placed to slow her momentum and remind her and the world that success in the WNBA is not simply earned, it is granted by those who already hold power. This reality became glaringly evident in a recent game between the Seattle Storm and the Indiana Fever. Clark was on the verge of making history, just 1 assist away from tying a coveted WNBA record of 3 consecutive games with at least 20 points and 10 assists. It was the kind of moment that athletes dream of, the culmination of countless hours of training, sacrifice, and sheer willpower. But just as Clark was about to secure her place in the record books, the unthinkable happened. The coach of the Seattle Storm called a timeout and pulled his starters off the court, effectively robbing Clark of the chance to achieve her historic feat. To the casual observer, this might have seemed like a simple coaching decision, a routine move in the waning minutes of a game that had already been decided. But to those who understand the inner workings of the sports world, it was anything but routine. This was a deliberate act of sabotage, a calculated maneuver designed to deny Clark her moment of glory. It was a move that sent a clear and chilling message. No matter how talented you are, no matter how hard you work, your success is not guaranteed, not if it threatens the established order. This act of sabotage was not just a petty move by a rival coach, it was a manifestation of a much larger problem within the WNBA and professional sports as a whole. It exposed the ugly truth that in this world, talent is often viewed with suspicion, especially when it comes from someone who threatens to disrupt the status quo. Clark's rise represents a seismic shift in the league, a shift that not everyone is ready or willing to embrace. And so instead of celebrating her achievements, some are working behind the scenes to undermine her, to remind her and the world that she is not yet in control of her own destiny. But why would a league that is desperate for new stars and increased viewership actively work against one of its brightest talents? The answer lies in the complex web of power dynamics that governs professional sports. The WNBA, like all professional leagues, is not just a collection of teams and players, it is a carefully constructed ecosystem of power, influence, and control. Those who have been at the top for years, the veteran players, the established coaches, the league officials are deeply invested in maintaining their positions of power. And when a new player like Clark comes along, threatening to upset the balance, she is seen not as a boon to the league, but as a threat to the existing hierarchy. Clark's success is a direct challenge to this hierarchy, and the response from those in power has been swift and ruthless. Instead of embracing her as the future of the WNBA, they are doing everything in their power to slow her down, to make her journey as difficult as possible. This is not just about one game or one record, this is about control. The powers that be in the WNBA want to remind Clark and every other rising star that they are the ones who decide who gets to succeed and who does not. But Caitlin Clark is not backing down. She is not content to play by the rules that have been set for her. She knows that her talent is undeniable, and she is determined to prove that she belongs at the top, no matter how many obstacles are thrown in her way. What we are witnessing is not just the rise of a star, it is a battle for the future of the WNBA. Will the league continue to be controlled by those who fear change, or will it embrace the new generation of talent that is poised to take it to new heights? This battle is not unique to Clark. We have seen it play out time and time again in professional sports. Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, these players all faced similar resistance as they rose to prominence in the NBA. Critics doubted their abilities, dismissed their potential, and worked behind the scenes to slow their momentum. But like Clark, they refused to be held back. They fought through the obstacles, proving that their talent was too great to be ignored. And now, they are among the biggest stars in the NBA, reshaping the league in their own image. Clark's journey mirrors theirs in many ways, but it is also uniquely her own. The WNBA, unlike the NBA, has long struggled for mainstream attention and respect. It is a league that has had to fight for every bit of recognition it gets, and as a result, it is fiercely protective of the stars who have helped build it. Veteran players who have been the face of the league for years are understandably reluctant to relinquish their positions of power, especially when faced with a young upstart like Clark, who seems poised to take over. But the WNBA's reluctance to embrace its new stars is not just about protecting its veterans, it is also about control. The league is a tightly controlled ecosystem, where every move is carefully calculated to maximize its limited resources. And in this ecosystem, there is only so much room at the top. For every new star that rises, someone else's star must dim. This is the harsh reality of professional sports, and it is the reality that Clark is now facing head-on. The comparison between Clark and Angel Reese highlights the intensity of this battle. Both are young, both are incredibly talented, and both are seen as the future of the WNBA. But instead of celebrating their success, the media and the league are pitting them against each other, creating a narrative of rivalry that serves only to distract from the real issue at hand. The real battle is not between Clark and Reese, it is between the old guard and the new, between those who want to maintain control and those who are ready to take it. The decision to bench Clark during her record-breaking moment was not just a petty move by a rival coach, it was a strategic play in this larger battle for control. The coaches, the players, and even the league itself are all playing a game of chess, with each move calculated to either elevate or diminish a player's legacy. Clark is just the latest pawn in this power struggle, but she is quickly proving that she is no pawn at all. She is a queen, and she is making moves that are impossible to ignore. But make no mistake, this is just the beginning. Caitlin Clark is far from done. She is going to keep fighting, keep proving herself, and keep pushing against the boundaries that others are trying to set for her. The real question is, how long can the WNBA continue to resist her before it is forced to change? Will the league evolve to support players like Clark, or will it continue to operate as a gatekeeper, protecting the status quo at all costs? This is about more than just basketball. This is about power, legacy, and the future of women's sports. Caitlin Clark is not just fighting for her own success, she is fighting for the future of the WNBA. And if the league does not wake up soon, it may find itself on the wrong side of history. The stakes could not be higher. The WNBA has long struggled for mainstream attention, and players like Clark represent a golden opportunity to change that. But if the league continues to resist this change, it risks alienating not just its rising stars, but also its fan base. Fans want to see the best players succeed, no matter who they are or where they come from. They want to see records broken, milestones achieved, and legacies built. They do not want to see their favorite players sabotaged by petty power plays and outdated traditions. Caitlin Clark's journey is far from over. She will continue to break records, to defy expectations, and to push the boundaries of what is possible in the WNBA. But she cannot do it alone. The league must decide whether it is willing to support her, or whether it will continue to stand in her way. This is a pivotal moment for the WNBA, one that will determine not just the future of the league, but the future of women's sports as a whole. If the WNBA does not adapt, it risks becoming irrelevant in a world that is rapidly changing. The rise of players like Clark and Reese represents a new era in women's sports, one that is defined by talent, determination, and a refusal to be held back by outdated norms. The league must decide whether it is ready to embrace this new era, or whether it will cling to the past at the expense of its future. Caitlin Clark is not just a player, she is a symbol of what the WNBA could become. She represents the league's potential to reach new heights, to attract new fans, and to finally achieve the recognition it has long deserved. But to realize this potential, the league must be willing to change. It must be willing to let go of the old ways and embrace the new. If it does not, it risks losing not just Caitlin Clark, but an entire generation of players and fans who are ready for something more. The decision is clear: evolve or be left behind.